Ok, coucou tout le monde. Comment ça va? Pour une fois, j'ai pas trop traîné entre deux streams, donc je suis plutôt content. Mais ça, c'est parce qu'on est en mode exploration. Exploration d'une nouvelle zone, donc forcément j'ai envie d'en voir plus. Donc on va continuer là où on s'est arrêté lundi. Mes écouteurs. Parce que la musique est quand même bien cool. La musique est vraiment très cool, hein. Mais ouais, le groupe est cool de la base, donc écouteurs. Il fait beau, il fait chaud. Du coup, dans la chambre, je sue et je me suis fait un thé chaud que je boirai un tout petit peu plus tard. Je couperai le micro pour éviter les slurps. Ok, j'ai mes écouteurs, c'est parti. Ok, à 2h, everyone is asleep. Cool, 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 cool. Ok, où je me suis arrêté. Ah oui, j'ai parlé à ces deux personnes pendant 1000 ans. J'ai collecté des choses par là. Yes.
The remaining windows rattle from a strong gust of wind. They're covered in a thick layer of grime. They must have been like this for 40 years.
No, I won't even try. You know, I had a partner once. They called him Eyes, because he had to show me things. It's that bad.
Ah ouais.
Well enough, actually. It's odd how that works. I'm no sharpshooter, but I passed my shooting courses 7 out of 10.
Je voulais regarder la map. La map. Ouais, non. Ah oui, parce que la dernière fois j'ai regardé en fait les white checks. Je peux en refaire un là du coup. Ok. Et j'attends. Qu'est-ce qui se passe? Oui. On a une invitée qui lui arrive. Tu t'ennuies? Désolé. Donc je peux en refaire un là. C'est lequel? D'accord. Et donc la map, donc toute la partie à droite. Ah ouais, vous voyez pas la souris sur l'écran. Ok, toute la partie à droite c'est fait. Et là on est en train d'explorer le... Où est-ce qu'on traverse? Où est-ce qu'on a traversé? Balançoire. Là. Ok, on a traversé là. Non. Si. Donc la grande roue, après il y a une espèce de phare, on doit pouvoir arriver jusque là-bas, et là je sais pas où on est. On est en train de regarder un bâtiment. Le bâtiment, ça doit être celui-là à gauche de Church. Voilà. Du coup, si je peux refaire les balles, les impacts de balles, c'était où les impacts de balles? C'était un peu plus au sud. J'ai loupé ça tout à l'heure. Ah, la dernière fois.
officer. Anything I can help you with? A fishing village on the seashore. This place doesn't really have a name. It's sometimes called Elysium.
Illisible, ok.
The sign on the street leading here is illegible. Has been since they built this place. The name is Lillian. People call me Netpicker. I think I have time for questions, and that was actually the second one.
Indeed, you're always confused as to your whereabouts. Ask her about the cool sword. Helps to break the ice.
Quoi?
Unfortunately, the factory sold this one with a 3-year warranty instead of a story. It's to intimidate folks, mostly. Not really. I know some basic moves, and I know it sure as hell beats a knife when you're in a tough spot. It's a regular mass-produced sword, like a shovel or an axe. Nothing fancy, just for intimidation. From time to time, people need a lesson in respect. That's just the way it is. Back in the day, I caught the eyes of many men. And believe me, men need a lesson in manners from time to time. No, I'm afraid not. Tempting to confiscate the blade I used to keep these animals in check. You would put me in an early grave. Some went to patch their wounds, their lesson learned. Others were more thick-headed. And one of them, I ended up marrying. Gone. To the waves. The sea took him. It was a long time ago. He didn't respect the sea. Went out there, drunk like a skunk, and sure enough, one day the boat was found floating empty. The bloated corpse turned up 2 weeks later. Now, before you tell me how sorry you are for my loss, know that it was 4 years ago, and I've moved on. There's only so much mourning you can do for a drunk with sinewy muscles.
She really liked those muscles, though. It's in the way she pronounces sinewy.
Okay.
Us working folk don't have the luxury to be bedsick with melancholy. I buried him, mourned for an appropriate amount of time, and went on. Life didn't really change that much for me and the kids.
This is neither a touchy nor a very interesting topic for her. She looks like she's ready to go on a date with another, better, drunk. Ask her. Both of you could need some action.
Do it! Hit on the widow! It's the right thing to do!
Ok, on va attendre. Une fois j'ai compris les indications.
Let's see. Who are you looking for? Well, how can I assist you then, officer?
What? Attends.
Oh? Who?
Euh...
Well, how can I assist you then, officer? Like I said, fish mostly. Sail the waves, take care of the kids, pick nets. Right now I'm tarring a little skiff. I sell the fish to people in the Delta to serve at their fancy restaurants. Authentic Insular Indian cuisine.
Cuisine.
Sometimes I also walk to the beach to see what the sea has given up. The sea is full of surprises.
Keep it professional, man. Don't make it sound like you're hitting on her.
Oh, very. Finding pieces of glass, bits of wood. Every once in a while we get dead bodies. Human, animal, fish, other sea creatures. A mine washed ashore once. What else? Bottles, drugs also, lost cargo in general. Most of the time it's just wood and glass. Very romantic.
All right. Major choice moment. You only get to ask one thing. It would be weird to say them all. Choose wisely.
Don't have any. Those get cleaned out so fast, even the local bums can only stand by and watch with watery mouths. Always by strangers, too. Union folk don't stand this kind of stuff around here.
You could use a hit right about now. Any hit, really. Feel that itch in your hands? The stiffness in your neck? That strange restlessness in your bones?
He's right, Bratan! You're descending and you need to climb higher! Soar on the wings of your spirit hawk! Or just do a line! Whatever, right? Not a biggie!
Sure is. The sun, I call her, coated with a fresh layer of tar just yesterday. It'll take some time for it to dry, assuming the sunny days continue.
Quoi que je peux toujours
The
essayer.
sea's gonna calm down soon. I can feel it.
White check.
The wind is turning southeast. What's on your mind, officer?
Oh yes, she does. You need to get your drink on. There is no other way for human beings to procreate. Not after 6,000 years of yeast cultivation-based mating rituals.
Alcohol? Connect?
Oh, qu'est-ce qui se
I'm not
passe?
sure I'm following you.
Qu'est-ce qui t'arrive? D'habitude, tu fais dodo, tu t'ennuies? Viens. Ok, installe-toi. Ok, alcohol, connect, not sure I'm following you, there's confusion in her eyes. Ok.
That's a good impression. You really cracked me up, officer. Now, how can I help you?
She doesn't even understand you asked her out.
Huh?
Perhaps you're too sober to pull it off right now. Try again later.
All skill points into suggestion. Okay. Ouh, boots. Qu'est-ce qu'on a en ce moment? Chose. Plus 1, moins 1. Encyclopédie. Et ça nous fait quoi? Ah. Cool. Ah, carton. Cool. Ensuite, là. Oh, on peut prendre là. Bon, on s'en fout. J'avais oublié qu'il y avait effectivement la voiture qui avait atterri par... On a visité ça? Je sais plus. Oui. Non. Je me rappelle plus déjà. C'était il y a 2 jours. Ouais. Ouais. Someone. Ok.
banged-up motor carriage lies half submerged in the icy water, slowly sinking into the Insulindian Ocean. Only the cabin top, rear wheels, and the engine remain visible. It must be cold and lonely down there, in the icy water. The seawater has already started to corrode the metalworks. That rebel who jumped the canal and broke the waterlock, this is their doing.
No, not so daring at all. I agree. We should definitely investigate.
You get a sudden, sinking feeling. Stomach acid comes up as you look at the motor carriage in the deep, dark, cold water.
The ice hasn't closed around the vehicle yet. My guess is it's been here since last Saturday or Sunday.
Okay.
The motor carriage is properly stuck in the ice. Getting it out would require a team of specialists. A single day in the salty seawater would ruin most vehicles, but this one looks worn even in places the salt water hasn't touched it. The logo is too deep in murky water. You can't make it out, but you do see a monkfish float by.
Monkfish.
Your mocking tone finds no response, but the motion of the waves.
Yes. Clearly, this is a triumph. I'd say the vehicle has been here since last Saturday or Sunday. Let's wait for the low tide and see what's inside.
Okay.
Great idea. Then we can get the things inside. The joyrider must have left something good inside. Guns, papers, maybe a cool jacket. A joyrider
pardon.
jacket. You feel a strange connection to this joyrider. Maybe he's from some kind of joyrider's district and likes blue and white racing livery, like a cop would.
I don't know. An hour or two tops?
Ok, donc dans 2 heures. Oh, ok, non, encore mieux. Très bien.
As you sit down in the old, rusty playground, the world around you becomes very silent. Nothing but the sound of seagulls high above in the sky, echoing like distant laughter. Ice cracks around the blue motor carriage in the sea. Spit flies
Come on.
to your moustache, your chest, the ground before you. No sound.
Raining heavily here, Chief. Mind keeping it down a bit?
The lieutenant must think it's rather funny. He smiles and quickly turns away.
Just keep at it. It will come to you.
He's gloating at you. Oh, it's so easy for Mr. Teacher. With his lips puckered, the lieutenant lets out a beautiful melodic trill that puts even the insulindic thrush to shame. You hear the sound echo on the large body of water. Clouds race across the spring sky, and suddenly you just feel better about everything. Okay, that's way better than what you did. The clouds pass in the sky, and the shadow of the swing moves like the hour hand on a timepiece. 30 minutes have passed. Looks like this might take a while. Time to present a good topic for discussion.
I believe it's following a pattern set millions of years ago by cosmic forces. But I suppose it could move quicker, yes?
Clouds on the horizon grow darker, and the shadow of the swing set keeps climbing. You hear the distant rumble of the city. 30 minutes pass.
The world turns as fast as it wants.
Your voice echoes on the water, strange and out of place in the environment. 30 more minutes pass.
Detective, I've been able to make out the mark ever since we arrived. I find it odd that you haven't. It's a Coupris, Model 40.
Yes. Why haven't you?
It is a simple and rugged machine, favored by working men, government offices, firefighters, animal control people, you know, those kinds of people. Yes, 41. What do you think it stands for?
Où est-ce qu'il est le 41 jours? Rien du tout.
It's as if he knows what it stands for, but wants you to say it.
Salut.
It's pedagogical. Does he know something about that speed racer?
But it could also be the number of a police precinct. Precinct 41. Your precinct.
A massive pit opens up in your stomach, and the most terrible feeling comes over you.
Qu'est-ce que tu fais? De tous les câbles, t'attaques à Internet? Non? Ok.
No. Just nope. Say no to this, Harry.
I'm afraid so, yes.
Oh,
It looks like you drove your police motor carriage into the sea after you jumped across the canal. Of whom? I don't think so. If anything, you were probably drunk.
Probably. Try definitely. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and doesn't say anything. There is also a fourth thing you've lost. More precious than the gun, the badge, and the motor carriage combined. Lost forever into the deepest of seas.
Detective, we don't. A rescue operation really isn't viable at this point. I'm afraid it will have to be there like that for many years. Look at it. Parts of it might be salvageable, but overall, this machine is a write-off. People are more valuable than machines. Training a police officer is even more costly. That is very unlikely. You'd be lucky to find one undamaged component in there. In a few... well, not cheaper. This motor carriage costs 40,000 real. But in the long run, it still makes more sense to buy a new machine than try to refurbish this. Let's face it, this is a substantial loss to your district's budget. I mean, my station only has 4 other vehicles in addition to my kinema.
This was 20% of the station's vehicular budget.
Ok. Tiens,
Yes, let's go take a look.
maintenant que j'ai les là... Oh, quoi? C'est juste une update. Maintenant que j'ai les deux mains libres, je vais couper le micro pour pouvoir boire mon thé et pas vous en mettre plein les oreilles. Donc à tout de suite.
A police badge on which you see the photo of a man. You. Some seaweed is stuck to the back.
At least something good came out of all this.
Encased between 2 durable plastic sheets is a bluish card with lines of information and a watermark in the shape of the street grid of Revachol West. You see a photo, a name, a rank, a document number, the date of issue, and, in the lower right corner, your precinct.
"4 months ago. Seems like a new document was recently made. One is handed to you as part of a promotion, or if you lose the old one."
The case created a lot of edge you have to take off. The death march really gets us going. You're pretty sure you weren't doing well, but better? Probably yes. A lot can happen in 4 months, especially in winter. The winters are never easy on you, of that you are sure.
I remember that time!
The tie around your neck feels tight suddenly.
That was a good time! We had a good work-drink balance going! What happened, man? Pump it up!
Yes, it's the designation of your precinct. 41, like mine says 57. The 57th is mostly industrial harbor, a lot of asphalt. The 41st is... it's a tough station to work in. You have all of Jamrock to cover. That district should have 3 precincts, but money is what it is.
It's no wonder you are like you are, he thinks. But then again,
it's a legendary district, and a hell of a station too. It must be an honor and a curse to work with people like Price, McCoy, Berdiaeva.
And you? Is it an honor to work with you? Don't ask him, ask yourself. The badge in your hand shines as you rotate it, catching light. You see lines of information on it, and a shining watermark. The man keeps winking at you with his green-grey eyes. The photo is old, no doubt about that. But the badge is new. You used an old photo for a new badge. 8, maybe 10 years. The guy in the picture is rather good-looking. He's got a nice haircut and is distinctly lacking in massive sideburns. What do you think? His face is already contorted by the expression, although it looks less grotesque on him than it does on you now. The badge in your hand shines as you rotate.
Harrier Dubois. It's you two. I'm going to call you Harry, since it's short for Harrier.
No, he's not. He's going to keep calling you officer when he's angry with you, and detective when he's not.
Pleased to make your acquaintance, Harrier Dubois.
The badge in your hands shines.
That's just the serial number. Revachol, Jamrock, Precinct 41, with some numbers thrown in there for good measure.
The numbers are not there.
Lieutenant W. Freighter. The lieutenant is a rank above sergeant and below captain. It's the highest rank in the RCM that still does field work. I am a lieutenant. The title of Freighter is added to your rank when you decline a promotion to a higher rank. In your case, captain. You have declined twice, thus you're W. Freighter. There are many reasons one would do this. The rank above you in your precinct's décomptage might be taken, or sometimes promoted officers do not want to replace their superiors out of respect. And sometimes they just prefer the type of police work available to their current rank, in your case, lieutenant.
Heavy-duty case-solving machine.
Décomptage is the hierarchical system employed by the Revachol Citizens Militia. It means counting down to 2s. The lowest rank is junior officer, usually teenagers. Then there are the patrol officers, then sergeants, lieutenants, and then a captain. That's basically it, except for a few kings. Kings like satellite officers and the additional freighter rank I already explained.
The long and short of it is, you're his superior.
My pleasure. Yes, apparently you've had a rather successful career in the past, and this leads me to believe maybe your current situation is only temporary. People have been through worse and gotten back on their feet, Lieutenant W. Freighter.
Such a small yet precious thing. Expensive paper caught between thick plastic, like a fly in amber. It reads, reeds at your feet. Looks like the same one you saw Morel set before. Locusts are crawling around in the trap, confused but uneaten. You see no carnivorous reed phasmid gorging on them.
Big surprise. Anyway, 1 down, 3 to go.
You set the apparatus back on the ground, among the reeds. The reeds bend forlornly toward the sand. You see slabs of concrete north. In the east, the city center hums to you. The constant, distant song, louder on this part of the coast, nearer somehow. And there's that cold again, always the cold. A familiar apparatus lies. This trap is also full of panicked locusts. No sign of any cryptozoological beast inside.
Another empty trap. Yep. The next one.
Behind you, the ruins of... A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall, reaching from one corner to the other. Unable to piece together the big picture just now, the scattering of bullet holes looks like one giant smiling mouth, smiling its deadly smile. This is the trap. Nothing but locusts in this trap as well. Definitely no cryptozoological monstrosity.
Ok, me revoilà. Ça fait du bien.
Empty as all of them. One more of these and we're done. I'm just glad we haven't found some poor cat trapped in one of these.
The reeds by the abandoned campsite hiss and shake. The later it gets, the colder. Remnants of the camp can still be seen in the sand. The fire that's gone out. You feel strange, somehow.
Ok. Donc, là, je crois qu'on peut pas y aller. C'est pourquoi on est passé par là. Et à l'église, ok.
A metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. You could use it to call someone, unless you're out of change. You hear the tone. The machine is inoperable. Calling. Still calling. This feels wrong. Should you be doing this? End of turn.
Hé,
Someone picks up.
t'es où? Qu'est-ce que tu fais? Qu'est-ce que tu fais?
Pierre, is that you, Pierre?
Pierre?
You have any news about Pierre? He's my sister's grandson. He used to visit me as a lad. Fine young man.
Ok.
But who are you then? A salesman of some sort? Modern goods are rubbish, and I can't afford them anyhow. It's a shame what you did to our country. To hell with the police. To hell with you.
Her voice is drowned in white noise. Sounds like waves washing a beach, growing in volume until the call suddenly disconnects. You get a sinking feeling. It makes you look if Lieutenant Kitsuragi overheard you. To your relief, he did not.
Très bien, très bien, très bien, très bien. Ah, qu'est-ce que c'est? Ah, attends, là. Est-ce qu'on est là? C'est là où il y a les enfants. Ok, c'est là où il y a les enfants. Très bien. Ok, par là c'est ça. Très bien, très bien. Oh, qu'est-ce qui se passe?
Yes?
Je vais faire ça, tiens. Land, c'est où? Mince, je l'ai pas fait. Si, je l'ai fait. Non, je l'ai pas fait. Je l'ai fait. Ah non, c'est bon. J'ai pas trop compris là.
Yes?
Only banal.
Sérieusement.
At the core, you're a very banal person with a very small soul. One you should be ashamed of. It's no wonder the soft one doesn't want it back. It was right to abandon you.
Je voulais pas faire ça en fait, je voulais attendre de dormir, je suis trop con. Aïe 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 aïe. C'est l'église ça? Qu'est-ce qu'on a là?
The tent is just tarpaulin fabric covering a pile of stuff. The flap is open. Inside, 3 young men are listening to some new form of music. It's like nothing you've ever heard. One of them looks at you.
Come on, get in and close the flap behind you. The warm stuff's getting out.
It's safe to assume this is their leader, or at least he thinks he is.
Sorry, we barely have room for one.
You go ahead. I'm too old for this.
I'm actually not, he thinks. I just dislike delinquents.
I'm sure you will feel right at home. I'll keep watch.
Ok. Qu'est-ce qu'on a là?
A young man with peroxide blonde hair holds up a Harman Welshi tape player, nodding along to the music. He looks at you with a knowing smile and says, as though you're supposed to be sharing some tremendous evangelical secrets.
Hardcore! It's hardcore! Skibbity, skibberdanger. I am the rearranger.
Your cop training did not prepare you for this. What to do? Could there have been a right way out of this garden of forking paths, you think? You see a youngish man bleat.
Hello, I'm Andre. It's a pleasure to meet you.
There is definitely something futuristic about his hair, aggressively so. You get the sense that this is what the future will look like. Imbecilic, yes, should the future ever come, it will look deeply imbecilic, like this guy.
This is my posse, Noid.
The young man with earrings looks at you suspiciously.
And Egghead. Egg! Together with a Cell Burger, who's out there right now, doing some seriously progressive sonic experimentation, we like to think of ourselves as music venue organisers. You see, we've been all over Jamrock North, prospecting for real estate to establish a new venue in.
Honest for talent.
Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of raw, unfettered talent spinning tapes in Jamrock, we've had rotten luck with the real estate part.
Place is a shithole.
I apologise for my friend Noid's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. He has authority issues. Yeah, it's a matter of occupied ecclesiastical property. I bet you've noticed the derelict hive of narcomania on the coast. I'm talking about the church, and I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spiritual refuge can become a magnet for all sorts of dopeheads and burnouts if left unattended.
Dopeheads. Burnouts.
Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map with one of the maddest dance clubs in Jamrock. Nah, strike that, in Revachol. Strike that, the world! And sadder yet, because the dopeheads and burnouts hold up in there with the worst kind.
He leans back a little, watching you with a steady, serious gaze, letting you imagine just how bad those dopeheads and burnouts really are. Good. This calls for an opinion. You're an expert in those.
The spooky kind. I was hoping you would be the judge of that, officer. All I can say is, their spookiness is the kind that keeps us from restoring this church into a community centre and a place of spiritual refuge.
Also, they don't eat or clean the building. Shit's gonna collapse. People just wanna spin tapes without them spooking it up. Place has bad signs. No one can dance like that.
Thank you, Egghead. So you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter. Getting them out. Whatever spooky stuff they're doing, I'm sure it's not what the Ecclesiastes meant their property for. All right, man.
Andre's obviously very happy you took him seriously. The whole tent is. The boys exchanged giddy looks.
Yes. What? Yeah. Good to have, bitch to carry. When I first scouted the place, I did some reconnaissance. I'm not sure the church even has running water. Oh. It's the one they sell at the fuel station.
It's like he's lying to you, my liege. But he's slippery enough that there's nothing for you to grab hold of. He nods enthusiastically, no doubt a little relieved. Okay, so the Speed Freaks want to start a club for dance music. That much checks out. Youths like music. You feel as though you might have liked music more when you were young, too. gist of it is, they want to turn the church into a club, but a suspicious element has overtaken the building. It's very important to understand what the gist of things is. Always consult the gist before making up your mind. Plus, and it has to be considered, you can't invent the future of dance music in this smelly old tent. Imagine if you had the church. That settles it. Analysis complete. Their story checks out.
Truth is, I don't really know. None of us do. I don't even know how many there are. All we've seen are glimpses. Yes, there's also the machinery.
This machinery is of the deeply mystical variety.
When I first scouted the place, back in February, it was abandoned, empty. Took some time getting the crew together. So about 2 weeks ago, we came here hoping to set the stuff up. Suddenly, there are all these strange machines lying around in there.
One of them has wires running into bowls of water. Wires into water. Never seen anything like it.
Andre, tell him about the feeling.
Oh, and it felt like there was something in there with us, watching us from the dark.
No, the other one.
Which other one? I'm not as in tune with my emotions as you are, Egg.
Felt like silence. Awful silence.
Not exactly. We've just seen someone who we think is a woman go in and out of the church a couple of times. And we felt someone or something eyeing us inside. But that's kinda it. Well, honestly, I can't. But I am.
This is a below feeble attempt at avoidance. Basically, he is attempting to weaponize idiocy.
I'm 70% sure they're substance users. Don't let the technology fool you. You should talk to Noid about that. I just got a distinct burnout and dopehead sign from them. Probably jacked up to some snuff station too. Probably, very likely.
With a small surge of PEA, alertness fills you, as if to say, this is a dark corner. Look behind it.
It means like one of those rich boy private radio stations, where you can listen to people getting killed on, then jerk off to it. Sick shit.
Not that we would know anything about that. Noid just likes to relay stuff.
He appears sincere enough, sire. You could, of course, be wrong.
Sire.
We're getting derailed here. In short, you can tell to Noid about the machines. He'll tell you more. Like you aren't alone, you know?
It wasn't quite human, if you know what I mean.
Not human, as in a ghost. Do you know what he means?
It was this dark shape climbing upside down along the ceiling, like some kind of crab man. Yeah, you know, the way it was climbing up and around the ceiling, like a crab.
It was stalking a cell, exhibiting ambush behaviour.
Crab man!
Yeah, totally. I mean, I didn't personally see it. Estelle was alone that time, but I believe her. If she comes out running and says there's a crab in there, there's a crab in there.
You should ask her about it, but be nice. Don't tell her you don't believe in the crab.
The implications of this are too numerous to consider. Proceed with caution. Learn all you can before entering that dark building. There probably is no crab man. Don't let them draw you in with this nonsense.
Sure. What? I asked Noid to install a measure against more drifters wandering in. A padlock. It's a temporary fix. Just something to contain the situation.
I had to do it in an hurry. Not my best work, but it should hold for a while.
Of course. Noid, give the
Nice.
officer the key.
All right.
It's as if time
Nice.
is frozen somehow. You think you can sense the key moving in the air. Yeah, this is going to be way cool. Blam! Straight in the eye. Straight in the old eye orb. In the looking ball. A stabbing pain. Tears stream uncontrollably from your right eye.
Man, I'm super sorry. That was totally my bad. I got overexcited. Threw him too hard. I'm sorry.
He looks like he's genuinely sorry he didn't throw them better.
I really am sorry, man. Just take this, okay?
Well, looks like there's quite a lot there.
I hope that settles it. Or wait,
Cool.
the key?
Ah.
He is shifting in his spot, uncomfortably, still feeling sorry for the mishap.
We were talking about the padlock, I think. Not long, like a week maybe?
Pardon.
I'm super sure they're alive. I mean, come on. I'm at least 90%, maybe 85% sure they're still alive. Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too. I guess it wasn't very hardcore of us to just lock them in like that.
Me too. I shouldn't have that kind of power over another person. I'm not the one with the violence monopoly here. You are. I'm glad that key is out of my hands now.
Sure, man. Tell us what you want to know. Let's do it. Oh yeah, that's a meteor and name for the founding party. Thought it'd be cool to use it.
If you don't know what the founding party is, there might be a way to mask it with minor demagoguery.
Come to think of it, I've never really looked them up, you know. I can't give you a precise definition, but they're a very powerful religious organisation. And they have roots in ancient mass society. And they're the custodians of the Pericanassian Church. Plus, they anoint the innocents. They, like, made the innocentic system, no? You're totally wrong about that.
The Pericanassian Church is about love. And Nordic music is about love. I got love for my Pericanassian posse. Love is the relay out of death. We dance. Love is hardcore.
Unity!
Unity!
Make some noise for my Insulindian posse.
You feel it, the anodes and the cathodes coursing through you. Your big toe starts tapping along to the base, as if testing the waters. Feels good.
Yeah! Yakokata! The place to be!
He seems ecstatic that you share his vision of Pericarnassianism.
Do it for the masses. Do it for the crew.
I didn't want to say it, but it was pretty lame of you to imply otherwise. Anyway, you got more questions?
The one with the large head is still looking at you, nodding his head, waiting for your body to start moving.
Yeah! Let it out! Let the disco happen! Bring the disco into this world! Get this church shit on, and then dance there, motherfucker!
He's a quiet man, mostly communicates through music, and by being a master of ceremonies. Well, he's just kinda here. I don't really know how to communicate with him. Yeah, sometimes, when I stumble and find my way into his center, you have to hear a lot of hardcore to the mega first though.
The man smiles mysteriously, choosing to let the beat speak for itself. I get it. He's a puzzle.
As always, we'll be right here, waiting patiently for the news. Yeah!
Ok, cool. Je vais faire une petite pause. Je reviens d'ici 5 minutes. À tout de suite. Il faut que je sauvegarde aussi. On va faire d'une pierre deux coups.